Hi friends, welcome to the Shits and Gigs podcast where we keep the vibe high, the humor gets raunchy, and things get spicy when we talk about food. I'm your host Meg Davis and we're here for an episode of Bath Bombz, so I hope you are kicking those feet up, relaxing, and taking a moment for yourself while sitting back and just enjoying a little random conversation with myself. This week we're going to get kind of random actually. Some life hacks, I guess you could call them as one. We're going to talk about something that changed my mindset and has been so crucial with pivoting and navigating the hard times in life. And one of my little affirmation cards kind of brought that to light for me this week. And also just skill building in a way that builds confidence in the kitchen. And then we're going to talk big picture about galaxies and beyond. So like I said, getting random tonight. But let's dive right in. So starting with life hacks as far as your mindset. I was using my affirmation cards. I've been trying to lean back into the habit because when I feel really magnetic and really aligned, I just feel like it's a really great way for me to just get some guidance and stay focused with where I'm at and the goals that I have going on, whether it be just personal goals or business goals. And one of the cards is Impermanence, and I had to look it up, I think, the first time I pulled this card because I knew what it was, but I didn't really know the bigger definition of it. So just learning to embrace impermanence, which essentially means knowing that when life is kind of this crazy journey and you don't really know where it's going, whether it's a good or bad time, it's never permanent, meaning it always has an end phase. And I think when you really learn to live in that space of impermanence, you are able to have a better mindset and be more perseverant, especially through those hard times. And if you're maybe hung up on a really exciting time that's ending and it's really hitting your mindset for some reason, say you're on vacation, for example, you've had this beautiful vacation, either solo or with your partner or family, and it's really bumming you out that it's coming to an end, just always know that even though this is coming to an end, more good times are to come. And you don't have to be so sad because this isn't the only good time you're ever going to have. So yeah, just embracing impermanence and what's in your control in the right now. Because that's really all we are able to focus on and able to stress about is the right now. What are you currently experiencing? And based on that experience, what is within your control? And then it's easier said than done. When you come for that place, you then can kind of just release expectation and stress over anything else. Because it's really just not worth your energy and your time to stress about the things that are outside of your control. You just got to learn to pivot and navigate and become adaptable to the situation based on what you actually are able to control. So huge mindset shift that I've had, I would probably say the last year, because I didn't just pull that card. I just happened to see it this morning. And it reminded me, and it just kind of was a nice reminder because life is just fucking crazy and you just are always learning to navigate it. So coming from a place of impermanence is a beautiful way to do that. Let's transition into skill building for the night. I've actually been wanting to write a blog on this, so I'll probably still do that after this episode to kind of just dive further into it. But if you've been listening, if not, I'm huge on tracking macronutrients, whether you have weight loss goals or you're just looking to feel your best. Because from my personal experience and my experience as a health coach with my clients is when you track your macronutrients that are pre-calculated for your personal body, activity level, age, and goal mindset, it is the most effective way that I have experienced myself and have seen my clients have success in their journey. I feel like I've been leaning into the macronutrient counting probably the last 5 years or so. I kind of tested it myself for a year before really like leaning into it with my clients, because I'm big on making sure I'm like practicing what I preach. So even though I'm not the most consistent tracker, I do feel wholeheartedly confident in saying that when you do track your macronutrients, you will almost immediately see positive results in your energy, in weight loss, in just functioning of your body. Your body hits different when you're hitting those macronutrients and you're staying hydrated, and just these semi-complicated but very doable habits that can really, really get you in tune with your body and allow you to show up differently for yourself. And you feel it when you hit those macros. So one thing that I am big on trying to build confidence in, my clients that are doing the Nacho Average Prep method, are intuitive measurements. So a lot of clients still that I sit down with for the first time they're still in that like healing their relationship with food and just eating in general phase, meaning they're still in that less is more mindset when it comes to weight loss, like eating as little as possible and no carbs or pasta is the way to go. And with macronutrients, it's beautiful because it teaches you that your body needs it all, and it teaches you why it needs it all. Like carbs are your natural energy source, and protein sustains your body and builds your muscle, and fats are also like an energy store and serve many other purposes, as do they all. But it's just each macronutrient has such a crucial purpose, and it just allows you to wrap your head around that purpose when you're tracking your macronutrients. And where was I going with this? Oh yeah, intuitive measuring. When you're tracking your macronutrients, that means you're measuring. And at first, this can be very tedious, and I totally understand the amount of pushback in probably, I would say, that first month of tracking your macronutrients. I feel like after 1 month, it's pretty habitual. You're just going to get through that first 30 days of tracking your macronutrients, which, by the way, I highly recommend macros first. I will say if you answer honestly with the questions in the beginning when you download the app, the numbers they calculate do tend to be pretty darn close to what I do or what I end up coming up with using the formula that I know. So if you want to try it out and just answer the questions and feel out what macros first calculates for you, awesome. If you want me to personalize your macros myself, you can go on Nacho Average Prep on Patreon. I'll also link it in the description below. And in the store section, or if you want also accountability, you can do the Just a Pinch membership. So you'll get personalized macros and once a week check-ins. But if you just want macros, you have to go to the store section and you'll see calculating macros, and just click that and I'll touch base with you on personalizing those myself. But getting back to the main point that I want to make tonight with tracking your macros is measuring. So measuring can be very tedious at first. However, if you learn to really lean into this skill and are open to trusting yourself and not being so anal about exact measurements, I highly recommend you paying attention when you measure. And by that, I mean for things like pasta and rice, or maybe fruits and vegetables. When you're chopping that up or doing whatever you need to for your dish, like put it in your hand after you measure it. Like measure it in a cup or whatever you're using and put it in your hand. If it can go in your hand, put it in your hand and just like look at that and like see what that looks like in your hand. And eventually you'll learn like a cup of blueberries is a full handful, and 4 ounces of meat is about the size of my palm, and a cup of vegetables on my plate is my whole hand, and a tablespoon of butter is like the size of the top part of my thumb. And just like these little things you'll learn, and then you just become more fluent in the kitchen, and you just learn to, it kind of creates like an inner trust, because you're like, I got this. Like, I don't need a measuring cup because I measured that 30 times and I know for a fact that that's about a handful, or a pinch, like 2 tablespoons of cheese, 1 pinch of cheese. It's about the same thing. Yeah, it's just very empowering to learn to trust yourself in that way in the kitchen. And you're just like feeling your best because you're tracking your macros, and like you're really showing up for yourself in that way, and doing your best in showing up for yourself with fueling your body to its best ability within your control, right? Again, within that control. So, and that's another thing. Speaking of control, when it comes to eating, I don't want to hear any of your excuses. And anything that's happening in your life, obviously big things take some time. But that is still not an excuse when it comes to putting anything in your mouth. There are special circumstances where you don't have control of what you're putting in your mouth, obviously. But I'm saying for the average person going through a tough time, you still have full ass control of your hand going to your mouth and controlling what's in your hand going into your mouth. So get out of your own way, and I seriously just try tracking your macronutrients. Comment below. Let's comment macro if you're interested, and I'll touch base with you, or DM me on Instagram at megdavis.healthcoach also as an option. But yeah, no more excuses, guys. Just fucking show up for yourself. You got one life, you got one body. Why feel shitty? And why eat this trash food? Come on. It's pretty well known, like, our food is literally trash on the go. So it's time we smarten up, and it's time we just adult and show up for your body in the way you should. But yeah, builds empowerment in the kitchen and trusting in yourself when you lean into intuitive measuring. So I highly recommend that skill build in your life. And let's wrap this thing up with big picture thoughts on the galaxy. Galaxy and beyond, we'll call it. My husband enlightened me that apparently someone in NASA, some scientist, or I'm going to say alien, because people who figure this shit out are not regular human beings. Just saying. Apparently there's a planet that shows lighting similar to like cityscapes, like how we see on the satellite images of our world. You can see like the cities and all the lights and stuff. It's like trillions of miles away, apparently. First off, who the fuck is measuring this? Who is measuring this? I'm telling you, if this is legit, these people are not people, they're aliens, because who is measuring trillions of miles of space that just goes on, and there's all these random other objects floating in space, and somehow we're not hitting each other. And the whole fact of how we are here is just mind-blowing in itself when you start thinking about the galaxy and such. Like, we're literally just on this fucking orb in space. No support system other than gravity, which, I mean, I guess the only proof of that is that I'm sitting on my couch and not floating in the air. But we're just like trusting that all this stuff makes sense, and it's totally normal, and it's not crazy that we're just existing on this ball of air and land, water, fire. I don't know. What are all the elements? My brain's too shook by this whole concept to even know basic knowledge right now. Galaxies are crazy. So yeah, apparently there's city-like lights on this planet that's trillions of miles away, because apparently we need to escape our planet because we're the Earth's trash and destroying it. And they're looking, I guess, actively for another viable planet to move to. However, if this is why is trillions of miles away in our options list? Like, if it's more than like, if it's outside of our solar system, probably not going to live to get there. So why are we bothering traveling? I'm just going to die anyway. So what is the game plan here? The people that you ship out, I guess like the people that they procreate will exist, but like, how are you supposed to house a growing population on a fixed room thing, space shuttle, I guess, for trillions of miles in space. Like, that's got to take a long time to get to, like hundreds of years, I would think. So you're telling me you're going to house what are we going to just drop the dead people? Is there like going to be an escape hatch for the people that die? Because you can't bury them in a space shuttle. Wow, this got way deeper than I originally had thought on. Yeah. What is the point of looking trillions of miles away for a viable living space? And we're just going to trust that this place is livable also? We're just going to go in this spaceship and be like, I guess we'll trust it. I mean, unless they know, like, for sure the Earth is going to blow up. I guess you got nothing to lose and everything to gain in that situation. But, yeah, I don't know. Galaxy stuff. That is a new saying I've been telling myself, by the way. I've got everything to gain, or nothing to lose, everything to gain. And that's how I've been, like, just pumping myself up lately. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Obviously, special circumstances. But pretty little cool thing to live by, if you really think about it. Okay, friends. I guess that's it for tonight. Let's talk about our wellness mocktail. I'm going to highlight our teamwork tea from Elevated Nutrition this week. We were doing a little Olympic pop-up menu since that wrapped up this past weekend. This was the most popular one on the menu so far this week. The Teamworks tea is a lemon lime liftoff. So I want to start teaching you guys how to layer at home too with the teas, because it's really fun. You feel like a little scientist. So you're going to want a 32-ounce cup or a larger cup. You don't want to do a mini one, but just because the flavor will be real intense, because it's a pop of flavor, and if you do it in a small glass, it's just not going to taste great. So get a decent sized glass, pour a little bit of water in the bottom. If you can do hot water, that's preferred, because that'll just really help melt everything together and mix it. Not melt, that sounded weird. It's all powder. It just helps it dissolve. That's the word I want. Sheesh. All right, friends. A little bit of water in the bottom of your cup. Lemon lime liftoff. Again, these are all Herbalife products. I've been partnered with them for over 8 years now. They are forever improving their quality, and their new motto is just living your best life, which is my motto, and I love that. And they truly are just all about finding ways to like lead your most healthiest and like happiest life. And I just continue to see their initiative to do that with continuous fine-tuning of ingredients and launching products that are really just convenient, healthy living focused. All right, I think this is it, guys. I think I'm actually going to say the recipe this time. So all Herbalife products, little water in your cup, lemon lime liftoff, half a teaspoon of lemon tea, and then half a teaspoon of Blue Blast drink mix. These are vitamin C boosted. And then you're going to add a little bit of ice and water and leave a little space at the top to top it off with half a teaspoon of the green apple drink mix. Super fun and fruity. Definitely packs a punch a little bit on like the sour side because of the lemon lime and the green apple. But very fun, very refreshing, and it's been a huge hit. So come try it out at Elevated. We have this menu for the rest of the week and up until Saturday. And we're at 34 New Snack Hill Road in West Greenwich, Rhode Island. We're there Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 2:30, and then Saturday, 8 to 1. Sunday's family day, so we're closed. But stop by anytime. I'm there Mondays and Wednesdays most consistently, and then I rotate the Saturday, and I pick up some Fridays. I'm basically there all the time, but Mondays and Wednesdays, you will definitely see me, for sure. And then everything else is kind of just me popping in, or I pick up some shifts sometimes. So yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. Hope this was a fun topic for you guys. Hope you had a nice relaxation time. I don't know how long this was. It's at least 15 minutes, I'd have to say. Thanks for tuning in as always. Toodles.